Hi, everybody. Welcome. Okay, so tonight we are doing Business Tarot Tuesdays. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown in terms of how this all works, and if you're new here to us, who I am and what we're doing here tonight. But I am Ashley Bradley. I'm an intuitive business coach, and I am working with people that are healers, light workers, people that have a business that's making money for them, but they also really want to change the world, change people's lives while they're at it. They want to have a purpose to how they're making their money. So I work with those kind of people. I bring in a lot of the divine feminine strengths in business, since we have so over masculinized business in general, that I really want to rebalance it and have people, women especially, feeling really good about using their gifts and their strengths to make money in their purposeful business. So how it's going to work tonight, if you guys would like a reading, we do have a few, 3 to be exact, little reserve spots sprinkled in there, since people that are in my group, How to Make Money Being Magical, I let them reserve their spot ahead of time as a perk of being in the group. And mostly what we're doing here tonight is just taking people that are joining, that are watching live, and giving you readings related to business topics. So if you do want a reading, you can start mentioning that in the comments now. And I do have Solange, who you'll see in the comments, who works with me. She helps me get all this stuff kind of organized and flowing, so it could be really smooth and a good experience for you guys. But just let her know, and what she'll do is she'll assign you a number. So what I like to do, so that we can also get spirit involved, universe involved in choosing who goes in what order, is she'll give you a number. She'll let me know sort of what number we're up to, and I'll pick one of those numbers. And I will say, people, these are getting more popular, but for the most part, almost everybody gets a reading, especially if you're joining early, when we just started right now. So definitely don't be shy about that. Until, I'm going to be those people with 1,000 viewers at some point. So I guess you could say at one point that you got a reading from me if I get to that level. We can only hope. We can manifest, right? So yeah, let me know. And when I call on your number as well, I want you to be like, oh, I'm here, so that I know that you're still live, so that, again, it can be fair for everybody. And I'll ask you what your question is. I do try to keep it within business. So for me, that means business, career, purpose, money, things in that area. We like you to steer away from the yes, no questions, but I'm here. I'm not going to leave you hanging. If I feel like your question could be asked or intentioned in a bit of a different way, then I'll just make that suggestion and I'll help guide you through. So I see people diving in. And one other thing, if you really want to just jump the line as well, we do have a way for you to pop in and join me live. And I really love it when people do that, because then I feel like we're connecting, and I know you, you know me now. So we do have a link, and Solange, if you tell her you want to go live, then as soon as I see you pop in this little backstage area for this streaming platform that I'm using, I could pull you in, and we actually end up going a little bit deeper when you're joining me live, since we can interact and I can see you. You can ask me questions. And it is actually up to you if you do audio only or video. So we are going to get started. Solange is going to be giving you guys some numbers. I'm going to turn down my music just a little bit. I have some cool shamanic music playing in the background just to set the mood for us. Okay. All right. So I see, I'm going to go ahead and go with Jessie, because it looks like Jessie is kind of giving everybody numbers. And then I see Jamie in the backstage area. So then we'll be going to Jamie after that. So let's go with Jessie. Jessie, can you tell me what you have a question about? What your question is about? Give me something to work with. And then we're going to go to Jamie. Okay. Jessie, are you there, girl? I'm assuming you're a girl. Yeah, you're a girl. All right. Well, I might go to Emily first since I know we were going to do Emily at 6:15. So Jesse, career choice change. Okay, got it. All right, Jesse. So I'm going to have you tune in. And ask for if there's angels, any loved ones, any guides that you want. Just intention that they join us, invite them into the space. And I'm going to take a moment just to tune into you. I'm curious, Jesse, like, it feels like there's some heavy emotions because it looks like you're looking for something else. But what I'm seeing is due to the job that they're showing is behind you, the thing that you're leaving behind, they're showing me a lot of heavy emotion around it. And I'm just really curious about that because it feels like either the kind of thing where you were sort of like pushed out, maybe something related to COVID where it pushed you out, or something where it's taking such a toll on you. Like I just feel like a sadness coming in that almost feels like it's probably been weighing you down and feeling a bit heavy to navigate through this. So I'd love for you, Jesse, as well, just to keep giving me things or being like, yes, that makes sense. Yes, totally right. I did pull 2 cards for you. And it's funny because I initially felt like I grabbed for the life purpose deck, and that was the one I was drawn to for you. And as soon as you said career change, it made me feel like it was going to be at least what your inner being, what your higher self is wanting you to do is more geared towards the healing light working. This energy healing card came in. And I will tell you that based on who shows up pretty much almost always for me are the individuals that are the healers, the light workers, either already in that place and they're looking to improve their business, or they're meant to be taking a different big change, like they're spiritually open, they're drawn to things like this, and those are just the people that I attract. So it would make sense for me that we pulled this energy healing card. So I will tell you that you can be a healer in any different type of industry. It's not just like Reiki with someone on a massage table with their hands over you, but you can bring through healing and be a healer in many different types of things. And even with me as a coach, I would always say, I'm a healer. Like I healer first and foremost, and I do it through this different specific job, this specific industry. So I really just want you to know that energy healing and being a healer means many different things. And the things that you love doing the most, that you would have the most fun doing, that's how you're going to infuse your healing and your healing energies. And there's so many options for that. So I want you to feel really full of possibility for that, really excited about that, and know that there's a lot of different ways that this could happen. You don't have to just automatically leap and start the business, but it's important for you, even if you take some different jobs along the way. I do see you having your own business for sure in the coming years. But I want you to know that it can happen in chunks, and you can start to kind of infuse these different parts of yourself and build these different parts of yourself as you're stepping forward with it. Ego is the other card that's coming up, and it's talking about a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, or some negative and fear-based thoughts. So I see you saying here that COVID slowed down work. It's made you want to rethink your career. Okay, yeah. So this is the other card that's coming in. What I'm really seeing here for you is a sense of guidance and protection coming in, that anytime the healer light worker is wanting to step into a more authentic choice around career and money, there is that divine guidance that's coming in, that's stepping in to make it almost like just be in your flow of meeting this person or that person, or seeing, the specific group, or landing here, right, with me, that the flow is just kind of naturally take you there if you choose to be in that stream, and to make sure that your mind doesn't take over, because it's your mind that has been really fucking conditioned by everything that you see around you, and you really need to tune in internally for you to make sure that you're following your heart, your soul essence, and not what you've been conditioned to believe, because that shit is not going to lead you to where you want to go. So thank you, Jesse. So I am going to pull in, Jamie, and then we're going to go to Emily. And then I do see Terry that's here backstage. So I will tell you guys, it's popular here backstage. So Jamie, I'm going to pull you in. So if you guys want to jump the line, if not, we'll return to the numbers for the people that want to stay in comments. Solange can get you the link and you could sort of be brought in sooner. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I see a bit of your rainbow bangs, but I feel like it's not giving it like full justice from some of the photos I've seen of you.
I know. It's a little tricky. I'm like not in the best light. I don't have fancy lighting. So I'm just working with what I have right now. Hold up, trying to stay away from everyone so that we can do this for a minute.
Yeah. What do you want to do a reading on?
I want to know if I'm still like on the right path, if I'm still doing the right things that I should be doing, because I've been doing the same things for a long time and I do love what I do, but I want to know like what the cards say about should I still be doing what I'm doing right now.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. So, I want you to tune in. I want you to set the intention that any guides, angels, anyone that you want to join us, joins us. And I'm just going to tune into you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. It's interesting what I'm feeling because it's sort of like excitement mixed with anxiety. Like I feel like there's sort of like this like tingling of possibility, but it's like also kind of brings up like a little bit of nervousness, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. It feels kind of settled and grounded, and I think it probably goes in and out for you to the different places. But let's.
It definitely does.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so the first thing that I'm seeing is the 9 of Earth card, which does actually have to do a lot with like business and manifestation. It's talking about enjoying life's little luxuries, spending some quiet time alone, successful self-employment. But for me, like what I'm seeing here is like spaciousness to enjoy. I'm seeing you, which I know you obviously from conversations and just know you in general, but I feel like this card is really signaling out more spaciousness to actually have time to enjoy things in life, time to enjoy a pause. And so anything that you do, like I feel like it's really important, whether it's a pivot in like just in your industry and how you do things or fully changing it, like the spaciousness is the thing that's getting called out the most, because it's like you're having so much success, but you're not being able to actually enjoy it, enjoy life's luxuries.
Yeah, that's so true. That's totally true. That's a good card.
The other thing that I am seeing for you is interesting. It's this crystal card that's coming up. So for you, I feel like it's a blend of things that you're going to do, but it seems like you are moving more into a career of like supporting people in a different way. It feels like a little bit more of like connecting. It's like how you connect with other people that it feels like you're missing. Because I feel as we start to tune into this career, it feels like it's very much your like a destiny, like a thing that you chose before you came here. Like I feel like kind of this like warm and fuzzy of like stepping into this like role, and it feels like this like kind of deep connection, almost like the people that you're working with feel very much like a friend or a family. Like it feels like a very close relationship. And it's interesting. There is this support thing. I feel like it is around women as well. It seems like I can almost see you stepping into, I feel like there's different paths, but I also see that it could be like you supporting other people and kind of like building their own thing, like almost kind of how I am like coaching people and doing different things and how that has transformed. I just see you working closely with women, and it's like a very kind of like close like allyship with them, but it does feel like it's much more into like the spiritual, holistic, like it feels like a place where all parts of you are just welcome and you're like fully self-expressed. So how is that landing for you?
That feels really incredible. And it's interesting because with work, we've been talking a lot about diversity and bringing more women to the table for different roles. And so maybe it's partly to do with that. But I love that you just said that all of those pieces really feel connected to me. So I think that actually gives me some clarity, and I appreciate that.
I know that you had mentioned something like years ago about something you were thinking about going into, but I'm not seeing it as just as much that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm seeing it as that it still feels like you can do it virtually and remote, but it's sort of like if women wanted to get into the field that you were getting into, that you kind of like, you know, a lot of the ropes now, that you can really teach them and sort of mentor women to step out and do things differently. And
Mm-hmm.
I just really want you to value that knowledge that you have, because there's a lot there. And so
Yeah.
just make sure that you don't undersell yourself with that, girl.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me jump in and jump the line.
Yeah, of course. Mwah. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
So I'm going to go to Emily. I know we were trying to get to Emily we're pulling you in, Emily. We're going to pull in Terry after that. And then Solange she's organizing everything in the comments. So if you guys are watching and you're like, when's my turn? She'll give you the rundown. She's got you. Hi.
Hi.
How
Is
are
my
you?
mic on?
Yes. And you look
Okay,
amazing.
cool.
Like your hair and makeup and lighting. It's like you're in the studio.
A little bit. I was doing some fun photo shoots with friends today, so I kind of got dressed up too, but yeah.
So what are we tuning into tonight?
So I've been kind of up in the air about what my career is going to be. It's changed a lot this year. And I've had a lot of side jobs and everything. And I have like these great ideas to what I want to do, but it seems kind of like a big risk. And so
Okay.
I'm kind of scared to leave what I've been doing and start this
Okay.
new thing. And I just want to know, is it worth it? Because I cannot risk losing money right now. Like it's not worth it. So
Okay. So tuning into what we're seeing in terms of you making that transition, that change. Yeah. That's like, is that the good bottom line version? Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you to tune in and invite any guides, any loved ones, ask for that connection with your higher self, with your soul self, or if you have a special name for that. And I'm going to intention the same. I really want to talk to like your higher self specifically. I feel like right now I'm just like, where is she? Let's talk to her. Okay. She comes in with a lot of power. She comes in with a lot of certainty, which isn't that surprising. I feel like that should be our higher self. And I feel like it's almost like a squad. Like it's kind of like she kind of shows up with like other divine feminine energies that are sort of like in her kind of livelihood. Hestia, this goddess of sanctuary, is coming up for that. It's saying, no matter where I am home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. And so it's interesting because it ties in. I feel like I gave you a reading last week, and I feel like it's kind of tied to like, didn't I tell you at your reading last time to stop tuning into all of the other energies around you and being like, how are they feeling? Something like that, right?
It was definitely about like solitude and being home and resting. which was very dead on because I've been doing a lot and seeing a lot of people that I need to be alone and be listening to myself, not other people all the time.
Yeah. So this is very much pointing back to like basically taking your own internal advice and not searching externally for the answer. So you, even when you're tuning into my readings or other people's readings, you need to run it through your own resonance filter and be like, how is this landing with my soul? Does this feel true to me? Because ultimately it might just be a tool that gives you more trust in the own answer that you already have or a confirmation, but make sure that you are putting that, if you're putting anything on a pedestal, it is that. And
Yeah.
so I think that we actually are doing like intuition, like an intuition challenge in the group. If anyone else wants to join, Solange will link that. But like it's about actually tuning in more to your own intuition and trusting your own intuition. So I feel like that. Yes. This other card, this Two of Fire cards. So fire cards are very much about passion and the fire within us, and so it's talking about you're coming into your own new partnerships or continuing to move forward. This card is very much a card of protection, and it's showing me that there's another it's another person. It seems like are you thinking about doing this other thing in partnership with someone else, or doing kind of something that they're doing and then kind of starting your own little like pod or group of it?
Yes, for a couple of the different, I'm not just a one trick pony. I do a lot of different things. So the new things I would start would actually be like three different things that I'd be starting, and they all involve another person. So I definitely, it does make sense for any of the three.
Let me ask you this. Does the thing that you're doing now involve another person? Because you're asking for confirmation. Okay. So they're showing me another person involved. So I just want to point out that there's clearly there's not a lot of cards that actually have two people in them, and the dragons are very much about protection, symbolizing protection. And so what I see you doing is focusing on two or three things, and it seems like at least two of those things involve some other person. And so I just want to name that right now, because you're at this crossroads, it's really, really important that you are making that time to tune in every day and really start your days intentionally, because you need to be in the flow right now and listening for the little signs and things. They're sort of handed out to you like little kind of surprise little Easter egg things that you can find that are guiding you along the way. And I feel like you're missing a lot of them.
You can say that again.
You have a big energy, and at times I feel like you just kind of need to pull it in, and even if it's in that moment. But what I really want you to work on is to start to differentiate between when you're feeling uncomfortable and when you are feeling, because there's it's not right for you, because there's a difference. There's times when this is uncomfortable because I'm new here, and this is new for me and it feels uncomfortable. And then there's this is wrong. This is, the port mission. So I really want you to start focusing in there and creating discernment, because I feel like there's a lot of little choices that come with this stuff that you're doing, kind of little day-to-day choices is what I'm seeing. So I feel like we'll just leave it at that, and then we'll go to Terry.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Love you.
Thank you. Bye. Mwah. All right, Terry, I'm going to pull you in now. And then, yes. Oh, people are, hi. How are you? Are you muted still? Unmute yourself. And I'll show some of the decks I'm using. Someone was asking.
Okay. I'm here.
Hi. Someone was asking decks. So this is one of the ones that I was pulling from. This is the Angel Tarot. And then I also had pulled one from the Divine Feminine deck. I just really love this deck right here, for whoever was asking. And by the way, you guys, anyone could join live, how Terry did, and kind of jump to the top of the line, or join my group. And we'll make sure that you also sort of get the inside scoop on when these are happening. So what should we read on today? What should we see the energy of today?
Well, I wrote a book about maybe 3 years ago, and I sort of put it aside and started doing some other things. And the morning I woke up and felt inclined to sort of revisit it and wondered where that fit in with everything else that's going on. So,
okay. So where are we seeing the book? Okay. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to intention whoever you want to show up, whether it's guides or higher self, if there's any angels that you work with. Okay. So they're showing me, it's funny. It's like very much like the energy of like something sparkly. And I feel like at times there's sort of like this newness, excitement that you bring. That's like one of your strengths, that like you have this excitement and wonder to yourself naturally, and that is one of your key strengths that you bring, and that sometimes you might kind of veer away. And like I think that I don't feel like it's a strong no. I feel like it's sort of like, let's pause here before we do anything with the book. The cards that are coming, there's a release card. It's talking about the end of a phase or a situation, a spiritual transformation and time to move on. And the other card that's coming in is the Queen of Saintly Women. I am of service of divine love. I move the way that love asks me to move. It's a really beautiful card. When you think about your purpose, like how do the words come to you? Do you have a way of thinking about it in a few words? We're going to do like a little bit of coaching, a little bit of the cards here.
I just want to be the light of Christ to all I meet in any situation I'm in. Like I just want to bring that light into the world.
Yeah. And you do that naturally just by like buying your coffee or doing other things. And I'm wondering how, if you think kind of bigger picture of just people, right? Like how do you see, just from what you've seen, or you can make it up, how do you see that transforming people in different instances or transforming their life? What do you see as possible with that?
With the different things that I've done or do?
Oh, no, like the light of Christ comes into their life, and then what do you see opens up? What's possible, or how does that change the light? Like there's another piece, like if we go deeper.
Okay, so it helps let the chaff fall aside and let them get aligned with what's real and who they really are, so that they can live their life purpose. And
yeah, they get into alignment with who they really are. And what do you know to be true about what happens when we get into alignment with who we are and what we came here to do? Would that fit what we came here to do with how you're thinking about it?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So if we're all doing that, you use the word sparkle. I mean, I kind of imagine that it's just going to be a brighter world. And
yeah.
So
I think that
facilitate that, if the book isn't it, that I would like to know that, because I wouldn't want to pursue it if it's not going to serve that purpose.
So I think that the reason that it's gone in this direction is that you do it by being you, and the doing side, I think, is the side that you're attached to, because whatever you have the most excitement and sparkle around, the most wonder around, you bring that vibration and frequency with you to that project. And that sometimes we get very kind of pulled into what makes the most sense with the money of it all. But I know that you understand kind of how around a certain project or frequency, how it gets attached to it. That's what I feel like they're coming with. I know that yes and no answers are not always the best in terms of like reading and cards, because there's so much free will choice involved in everything. But it very much feels like they're giving you the energy of and the choice of, well, how do you want to bring the light of Christ and deliver that into the world? Because it's up to you. And will this be fun for you to promote a book, or will this be fun over here? That it's very much that you are the creator of what you spend your time and energies on. And your excitement around that's why I always say to make money being magical. Your magic is amplified around your excitement in that project. So I feel almost like you're kind of coming at it from a more of kind of like a doing, well, what's the right strategy to this? And not to say that that's a bad thing necessarily, but I want you to start first in this other place of where your excitement and where your pull is, because that's the thing that you're going to want to carry through and see through to the end and be able to be attached to that purpose, attached to bringing the light of Christ in, and keep going on that path because you love it so much. You love the journey of it. And it is just so fun that you will do anything to keep going. Even if there's some roadblocks or challenges, you're just like, I'm having a great time. So that's really what they're wanting to make sure that you are very connected to, and that you're not thinking kind of in terms of the horse with blinders on, of like that there's only a certain number of ways, because ultimately the way that you express your purpose, there's a lot of choice in what you do and when. But I do want you to, I feel like you're focusing on a lot of things that it is important, I feel like, to have some degree of kind of discipline of what you choose. The Mary Magdalene is coming in talking about being this bridge between heaven and earth, being fully human and fully divine. And so I feel like that probably holds some meaning for you. And we needed to just pull another one in. And I feel like right now, when I think of bridge between heaven and earth, I think very much geared to ascension and sort of the frequency of the planet rising, and how there's always that talk about how like, well, 4D is just a bridge to the 5D. So I feel like in the shorter term right now, it's like, what's going to help us get across that bridge to kind of raise that frequency? It doesn't mean that it's like, I ever felt like a hard no, but would you agree that maybe there might be other things that facilitate kind of that process of the awakening and changing frequencies, and the book might come later when people are more open and awakened?
That's great. I actually just handed my husband to read an article that I think was called New Heaven, New Earth or something.
Okay. So that is making sense to look at it through those lenses. Okay.
That's where a lot of my passion is most recently. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I feel like if you see it through those lenses, it's really clear. Does it feel clear to you through those lenses?
The subject feels clear. I'm not sure if I know how to make a business out of that, but that's exactly where my passion is right now. Okay. And that's somewhat separate from the book. The book is sort of a different sort of thing that might, yeah. So I think that the book, it's not like, no, don't ever touch it, but it seems like it's maybe they're bringing it to you to kind of show you either a different idea of something that you might write that might be more related to what you were so gung-ho about. But yeah, I'd say do the thing that you get excited about, that you want to talk about on podcasts and post about, and just be bubbly about on video, like, or, being Terry, but those things that you just like can't get enough of, because your energy your cup is going to be filled by talking about the thing that you're stoked about. So yeah. Thank you so much.
All right. I'll see you soon. Bye, Terry.
Bye.
Okay, so Solange, thank you guys.
Hi.
Tonight. Okay, so Solange, I know that we have somebody, I think at 6:30, and then what number are we up to based on the numbers that we have?
We are up to 7, and we did number 1 and number 3 already. So we'd have like number 2, number 4, number 5, 6, and 7.
You said we did 1 and 3 already?
Yep.
Okay. So who was it that I told you it was 6:30? I'm going to see if they're here, because I know I had a little reserve.
It was Laura.
Laura. Okay. So Laura, let me know if you're live, and then let's go to 4 and then 2. I want to go in that order. 4 and then 2. Who's number 4?
Hey, it's another Laura.
Okay. So Laura I is going to be next.
Laura Berman.
And then, okay. So Laura B, you are next after that. Thanks, Solange. Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay. So Laura, and then Laura B. And so Laura B, you can put your question as well of what you want to tune into while we're doing Laura I. Okay, so I feel that I'm being pulled more and more into the direction of a greater purpose, especially in the communications realm, and definitely with the purpose of helping others. I know we've talked about potentially writing for spiritual websites and people. I'm wondering if I should really go for that, or what is my next step right now. Okay, so next steps about that. Okay, so I'm just going to put that one up since it's like a little lower profile. Okay, so Laura, I'm going to ask you to invite in anybody from your spirit team that you want to join us. Okay. Okay, so they're showing me a few different things. The first is that they're showing me that the path looks a little bit different. I'm going to just turn this down a little. Sometimes it gets a little loud. They're showing me that like a dirt road kind of path, and it's really in the spirit of like everything that you've done has got you prepared for this, because I know that sometimes it can feel like, oh, this is completely new, or I've never done this before, and we really separate ourselves from it. But this journey that you've already taken has prepared you very well. And I just want you to always know that even the things that you feel like but who am I to do that? And any of those inner critic types of things that pop up, yeah, they stop your voice. I feel like a little pop come into my throat here, that it shuts you down. Like it really disempowers you. And so I just want you to know that there's a lot of natural gifts as well, things that you've always had, things that you were just born with, that like probably at 5 or 6 years old, you were able to do a lot of different things. And I want you to know that sometimes we have a hard time realizing that it's a gift because we assume everyone else is like that, because we've always been like that. We didn't really have to try hard. So that's the energy that's coming with it. This Knight of Fire card, it's talking about like a sudden event, that time is of the essence, but to think things through carefully. So I do feel with this, Laura, that there's like a push to start. I see a push to get going, but it's not like, because I almost feel like it's very dualistic, like I either do this or that, sort of one or the other. And I want you to tune into that there's a lot of different ways and speeds, and they're not necessarily even trying to say that you need to do it in this specific time frame. They just want you to start. They just want you to start, because the next part of it's going to be revealed for you. As soon as you take one step, then you'll sort of be like, okay, well, now I've started, I can just take this other step. And there's going to be times where you have a few choices, because I feel like you're almost not even going to see what you really love doing until you start doing it. And so just seriously, like, I want you to ask yourself, like, what's like the simplest thing that I could do to just move forward and try it? What's a small thing that I could do tonight, tomorrow, that would just allow me to try it? Because I feel like this move, when it's talking about time is of the essence, everybody that ends up showing up here is related to the raising of our planet's vibration, right? We're related to being healers and light workers that came here for a specific reason. And they send people to me because I just happen to be in your flow or path. And they know that I'm going to be the person that lets you know, hey, remember you came here to do this thing. And like, how are you feeling right now about what you're doing? Does it feel aligned? Because your emotions and everything that you're feeling as you go through your day, or things that you're feeling when you're actually pursuing an interest or a hobby or something that you aren't doing professionally right now. That's your emotional guidance system. It's giving you pointers, right? If you see it like this GPS that's really guiding you on every turn. So what I want you to do is, I feel like, just start, but it doesn't mean quit my job and just start. It means, what's a step? What's something that I will do? If I were to dip my toe in, what would that look like? And because it is talking about this immediate attention, of time being of the essence here. It's interesting that I feel like there's almost like a bit of like kind of tribal, like warrior energy that's coming through with both of these cards. And let me tune into that specifically. So they're saying that sometimes it's like your energy of like kind of having this like, I gotta push, I gotta do it now, that like sometimes you could be kind of like a dog with a bone with certain things like this, a little bit kind of relentless. And they're showing kind of like you can be in pursuit of this, and also that you can allow it to kind of happen, of kind of like being in flow. The first card was this journey card. Like, I feel like it's almost like there's this kind of dualistic energy as well with this like guy that's like going into battle with his horse. And then there's this kind of embracing of the journey. So I just really want to let you know that it's important that you start, because you said that you would do this when you came here. And all of the things that you are doing already, it doesn't look very different from it, but it's that you continue to take steps forward, and that you get comfortable charging money, and that you keep moving forward is the important thing. But it feels very much like you're on the right path, and it's just an evolution of that path, and a more bringing out a more integrated version of you that's taking these things that you've kept in different buckets and pulling them in together, and then it being the most authentic version of you. So we'll stop with that one. Thanks, Laura. And then we're going to go to other Laura B. And then after Laura B, I want to choose another number just so that we can get you ready. Let's do number 6 after that. Okay. Laura B. Okay, so we're just going to tune in general, Laura, with like what I'm seeing with your purpose. Okay. I'm going to question my purpose. Okay. All right, Laura. All right. And then if you were number 6, then go ahead and just dive into the comments and ask your question. Oh, and then I know I have, I think I actually have, Jessica, and then I have number 6. But Jessica, you can stay in the comments if you want. Okay, Laura. Okay, so Laura, I want you to invite anybody in from your spirit team that you would like to be a part of this. I'm going to get tuned into you. Okay. Laura, I see like just this beautiful, very spiritual energy that comes in with you. And it's interesting. It's do you do I don't even know if it's like professionally or for fun, but I just feel like I see you spending time like being very connected, or if you're not, that you had those gifts at a young age, because you have that feeling of like the light worker feeling. So what I'm seeing you doing is that, first off, this teaching card is coming in. So this is like a woman teaching little kids. It's not that I'm seeing that necessarily for you, but it's like a stepping up into a more leadership role, that it feels like you have to be really challenged by what you're doing, that you have to evolve what you're doing, or else it gets kind of old and stale and you start to feel kind of disengaged from it, and that your heart energy gets more tuned in when you are able to constantly take what you're doing and evolve and go to the next level. And so I see what you're doing is kind of stepping into like this kind of being a leadership, more of a leadership person, somebody that is more of a guide to others in whatever realm you're doing. I'm curious if that's making sense, because I don't know what you do specifically, but this Queen of Earth card is coming in. It's talking about a sensible approach of really working with people in, that's right, okay, in a kind and understanding manner. This card, like for me, is very much about manifestation. And so what is important is that you re-engage with it, even in the meantime, because nothing is happening for, just by chance. Nothing is by chance, right? So everything that's happening, even if you're there now, there's probably a reason that you're doing that right now, so that you can be the one that's supporting people during these kind of crazy times. But it, like, you are a part of like the group of sort of there being this upheaval, like a lot of the healers and light workers are experiencing, I was using the metaphor of moving, that like there's a lot of things and you're kind of sorting out, does this fit anymore? Does this not? And seeing what's true for you now, because things do have to be very authentic for you. Things have to be very aligned for you to give your energy and fully dive in. And when your energy is there and you're fully aligned, then you're just like, right? And so that's really what I want you to look is looking at, okay, look up at sort of whatever the next kind of level leadership thing is, right? Of you kind of stepping up and being the leader of the pack and feeling into that. And it also feels like a slight niching down, like as if you're more clear now on who it is that you really want to be around working with, and that you're able to kind of like narrow it down a bit, and that you end up also getting more enjoyment as well. You're up and down with your energy. Okay. That's spot on. Okay, good. Well, thanks, Laura. Thank you. So I know we're going to go to Jessica, which, by the way, I know things were very popular, guys. Like, I have a group. If you guys like getting readings, I am going to I'll have Solange actually give you the group link, so that when I post it earlier on Tuesday, I'll always say, hey, I have some reserved spots, or here's the link, if you want to join live ahead of time. So my group is called How to Make Money Being Magical, and it's very focused on the divine feminine in business. Even if you're a male, it's definitely more focused on women, but there's a lot of men that are out of balance as well, because business has been so over masculinized that many of us, since we're needing to utilize both, need that balancing of inviting in those gifts. So Solange, who was number 6 after Jessica? What's that person's name?
So it's Sable.
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 Sable
Okay, cool.
Alexandra. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So going to Jessica. Hi, Jessica. So Jessica, what I would love for you to do is, if you have anybody that you think of on the spirit side of things, so whether that is any guides or angels, anybody that shows up for you on the other side, invite them in, and I'm going to tune into you, and I'm going to intention the same, okay? Okay. So I feel a few things. Launch my business, which I believe is aligned with my purpose. Does that seem accurate? Is there anything more that I need to know to make it successful? Okay. So what I'm feeling for you, Jessica, is that it's like almost like my head hurts when I tune into the energy, that I feel like sometimes like I see you like working really hard on it, and like it's needing to kind of step away and like to just take a little break from it and not think about it, because it almost feels like you're so excited and committed about it that it feels like almost like a little exhausting. Like it's just like, okay, let's just take a little break. Let's be outside for a little bit. If you live in a place, of course, where there's not a lot of smokiness right now. This 8 of Earth card is talking about skilled work is rewarded, learning all that there is to know about a topic, and going back to school. So it's interesting that there's this there's a sense of not like going deeply into something, but that I see you kind of dabbling, because it's sort of like the thing that keeps you excited is to kind of be the dabbler of like, let's try this over here. Like that looks fun. Like think about more in the terms of like books or like little courses or things that you find exciting, that I feel like they kind of throw you these kind of like little kind of bite-sized fun things. And I see that more so being you and your path. And also what feels like good for you really is yeah. And so don't necessarily see that as being like a negative thing, but they're sort of being like, yeah, you know, if we feel like you can brush up on something, or maybe we want to kind of nudge you in a certain direction, they're just going to kind of drop a little bit of inspiration down. I know that you're really connected with Divine Feminine, so it's Green Tara that's actually coming in. My soul informs my every step. I do what my heart compels me to do. So really what I would show, just because she's like, she's the Buddha of enlightened action. What's coming in is making sure that you are not working so hard and just being behind your computer and sort of just like kind of pushing and forcing it, because it feels like you do need to kind of relax and be in like the fun and play and sort of like doing things that sometimes don't have anything to do with it. Because I feel like you're somebody that is good, like when you know what you're going to do, that you can kind of push and power through. But I just really want you right now to not get too lost in it, because it seems like it's going to be really draining and it's not going to be the right energy that matches up with your business and sort of the vibration that you're wanting to attach to it. So it's really important to just like tune in to like, is this fun right now? Like, is this fun? Am I loving this? Like doing this to build my business? And then adjusting accordingly, like is very, very important. So it's aligned with my so no, I don't see anything else. I think that you might go down the train of thought of, sometimes I see people like, oh, well, I need this now, or like I have to have this certain thing or learn this or this other training or certification. So don't get lost in that. Like that is very much this like old paradigm. And so I feel like you're saying it's the mission of the business. Yeah. And so I think that even those of us that have missions like that sometimes like we created that because we know that like we need that reminder constantly. And because it's easy for us to get lost in that. So just keep like returning to why you are creating that, because I feel like sometimes with business, we can get a little lost in things, or like I feel like the tech frustration thing sometimes, like when I see you huddled around a computer, that sometimes like you're trying to do something and like it could be that like a certain tech thing or like little thing doesn't work. And it's like, I feel like in those moments, it's just like, just step away. Like, let's do something else that's like totally unrelated. And then we can go back to that. We can revisit that at a different time. That's what I'm seeing. I mean, everything feels good. I feel like they're going to kind of send you your little nudges and inspirations as time goes on. Okay, so I'm going to ask Solange. I know we have Sable next. So Solange, has Sable dropped her question in there?
Yeah, she said she didn't have like any specific question, but wanted to know about career, business,
Just
or
general, what I see.
general, yeah, money.
Okay. What number did we go up to? I might just try to do like a few like little really quick ones.
We have up to 8.
Okay. I'm going to try to do a few more quick ones. We'll see how quickly I could do it. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so Sable. Okay, Sable. I'm going to see what I get for you. Okay. Okay. So they're showing me a card around going back to school. It feels like there's this deepening of the journey that's like requiring some extra knowledge, some different insight. And they're showing me that you're going to have this opportunity, this potential to study up a little bit more on something. So this water card, I also really want you to think about, because this water card is very much around like the emotions. It's about your relationships as well. So before you make that decision, it feels like it's something that you're sort of toying with right now. I don't feel like you're making any actions on it, but it's sort of one of those things that's like been in the back of your head that like comes up every now and then. So the thing ultimately that like is really important that's surrounding this decision is really looking at the relationships and the dynamic of it, that if you say yes to doing this a little bit deeper, like what does that mean in terms of things that you might have to say no to? Because if you go into it in terms of just like thinking that it can all stay, that sometimes it feels like there's going to be a little bit of chaos. So that's just what I'm seeing. You just started college again. Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, look at that. Yeah. So you're going back to be a counselor. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm really seeing with that family card is just looking like at your, it's not a family card, but it was like a relationship and kind of like emotions and relationships. And so just look at how that dynamic of like, if your schedule is changing, how that might kind of impact your time or what you're going to need to do. And so that's really what I just want you to be aware of, like saying yes to this. It makes it hard to continuously say yes to everything. And so you might have to look at the things that you're saying yes to and basically maybe narrow down what you're saying yes to. Say no to some things that are not kind of fully aligned and in your values, or that maybe just aren't as important as the other things, so that you can really be all in. Okay. So you said there's a couple people with the relationships that you feel like you've been toying to reach out and repair. Okay. Okay, good. Yeah. Well, I hope that was helpful for you. Solange, are you okay if we do like maybe 2 more? Do you mind if we do that? But thank you, Sable. Okay.
No problem.
I'm going to try to do it quick. See, I did it faster that time, right?
So what number would you like to go next?
7.
7 is Charles.
Okay. Charles. Trying to see. Charles, are you here? Can you drop me a little comment? Who is live? That already put their name in. Kira, maybe. We're just going to go with whoever I can see quickly coming up. Thanks, Sable. If you're watching live and you had a number, 5, 7, or 8, I'm going to see who you're here. Okay. So what's your question? Charles. Okay. So I'll go with you and then Charles. Okay. Let me know what your question is so that we can give you a quick card. Or what I might do is actually just pick a card for you, and that's just your quick little message. So Jocelyn, okay. So my last 3 are going to be, how do you say your name, by the way? Tony, Tones, Charles. Okay, Charles, his question came through first. Jocelyn, I didn't realize that I was trying to somewhat go in the grouping. But Jocelyn, I'm going to try to be brief with you guys, just so that since Solange is helping me to honor her time. Should I focus on my business, or is my job role where I need to be? Should I focus on my business, or is my job role where I need to be? Okay. Charles. This freedom card is coming up. They're saying that you're free to do what you choose. They were showing me that you're like very like beautiful, kind of nice things, kind of luxurious things. And I think they were just kind of showing me that in terms of like a bit of a personality. But what I see you doing specifically is, I don't know if it's going to be with this business or if it's like because of the business that your time is free. But I was really tuned into the dolphins, and I feel like there's this sense of like spending more time in luxury, like spending more time, just like even like being in nature, like that kind of luxury as well. And so it feels like there's, I don't know, there's just this very strong pull that I have for you. And it almost feels like I could see you working in nature at some point, or like doing something where you have like the freedom to be in like outdoor spaces a little bit more. So I'm going to go next here. Strickland. Okay. Queen of Air. So air is very much about like intellect, very much about at times like thinking and over analyzing if we're looking on the shadow side. So it's saying objective decision making, clearing away anything that no longer serves you, and seeing the humor in a situation. You're looking at something a little too closely right now, and it's like causing you to stress. Like I feel like I see you stressed and like almost like losing sleep and sort of like getting into these unhealthy patterns, because it's like hard for you to like pull yourself away when you get into that mode. And they're very much being like, it's like a mode that you turn on. And so I really want you to, so there's like a certain kind of music and sounds that I feel like that if you listen to it, I don't know if it's like a meditation or just like music that you like, but they're kind of just pointing me towards like you having a connection to kind of music and the frequencies, and that it kind of like I feel like I could even see you at times like kind of singing and like dancing and like a different side coming out. And so they're kind of giving that to you as like a tool to balance you when you get in those moments. Jocelyn, I'm just going to pull a quick little card as the last one. And then, by the way, guys, again, my group, How to Make Money Being Magical, join us in there. There's lots of cool things. And I try to give a little bit more of a heads up, at least like, before, so you can hear about when these things are happening and put your name on a little bit early. So Jocelyn, I'm going to pull a Divine Feminine card for you. So Amaterasu, the goddess of light, we are all sacred mirrors reflecting back at the same light. So I see it's something about like a matter of the heart, something, it's like a close relationship to you, somebody that I see you connecting with like a lot, like almost on like a day-to-day basis. And I just want you to know that like there's things that you're seeing right now that are like getting under your skin. It's I know that we try to stay in the realm of business, but I just am going to give you whatever I'm getting because I do feel like it's throwing off your vibe a little bit in business. So they're showing me you taking a breath, that it's like it's that kind of moment where sometimes you have to step back to have the humor in it as well, because it does feel like there's some absurd things that you're sort of like watching, and that sometimes you need to take a step back, take a breather, and remember that at times that you can only experience those things if they exist within you as well. So rather than being focused so much on the exterior and trying to kind of change and move things around, to see what that's reflecting back at you and to address that within yourself, because you're really only meeting that frequency if it's existing within you. You're only having that experience if it's a mirror to show you in terms of what's next for Jocelyn. So yes, that's what I'm seeing for you. That's what I'm seeing for you. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for really just, hanging out and being amazing and being just all here and in it with me tonight. And yes, I do have an intuition challenge. A lot of people were saying in my group that sometimes it's hard to like trust your own intuition, and I feel like that's a big thing as well in business, is like really finding your discernment with your internal voice and not making the choices based on the mind, which is subject to the conditioning. So that's really what the challenge that's I'm pairing it with, for those of us in at least the same part of the world as me that are going into fall. I'm pairing it as like a kind of like the fall autumn kind of challenge. So join us in the group as well if you guys want to do that. So I'll see you here next week at the same time. Bye, everybody.